Hi everybody, welcome back. Alright, so today's episode's somewhat impromptu, a little confusing. It's a bit of a channel update, not what my intention was for this video, but it kind of has to happen. So, the last episode I did is completely gone. It's got all screwed up. So I decided to head back. I want to try to just keep building my base while I walk through this a little bit. So it's a little bit of a base building episode, but more of a channel update. It's not going to be action packed, but I'll explain in a minute. So I may have mentioned before, there's actually a lot of stuff that's been edited out, so I'm not really sure exactly what I've said or what you've heard, but I know that I've complained about my video editor in recent times, more or less, and that there's transition effects that I like to use. What's the main reason why I don't use like the free programs is because the transition effects make it look more like a movie, and I was trying to make something more cinematic, and it didn't really work out. And that's really what I wanted to focus on, especially once the game is officially launched yet with 1.0. But the transition thing doesn't work, so now it like does this weird thing where it skips the video, and it's incredibly irritating, very aggravating. I feel somewhat ripped off, that, I mean, granted I've edited tons of videos with the program, but for it to just stop working the way it was intended really pisses me off, to be honest with you. Well, then it does these things where, and I use Corel Video. I know you guys, I mentioned it before as a joke, like, probably like laughing, like, well, that's the reason why, but okay, maybe it was a mistake, whatever, but I was trying to be loyal to their products and whatever. My photo editor doesn't seem too bad, but whatever. But it also keeps popping up these ads, like in the middle of things, which most often happens when I'm gaming. And that's like the worst absolute time to be popping up ads. And I try to block it, but it just keeps happening and everything like that. So I'm really, really, really not happy right now with this situation. All right, so then it started doing these things where, what was it doing? Oh, if I was, do a quick metabolism check while we're doing this too, because my character is pretty darn hungry, and I'm going to try to be building, so I was going to try to, that's why I was walking this way. I've heard some animals, but hunting is so darn hard, and I have too much stuff on my mind. So anyway, let's see, let's eat this. I might as well just eat the goulash. I'll put this back in the house. I might even actually, yeah. So let's just do this. Yeah, so then it was, if I was doing like an hour-long video, editing it down, or like, let's say 45 minutes or so, it was dumping half the content. Like, it was just gone. Now, obviously, you have the original file and everything like that, and, there's all that stuff. But it was just making things such a completely difficult situation. Well, now it's actually escalated to a whole new problem that I can't even believe is a real thing. But now it's, every time I do an edit, or which it would, normally I would have put a transition and make it look nicer, but I haven't done it for a long time. But every time I do an edit, it is now scrambling everything. So there's no logic to it. If I look in the system, it looks like it's fine. So I don't have a way of putting things back in order to correct it, because it doesn't make any sense. Maybe I'm wondering, just on the side note, I think if you eat maybe too fast, you get more water than food. I don't know. It's a running theory I have with this. But anyway, back to my anger, my rant. So yeah, the last episode, it just scrambled everything all to heck. It wasn't the most exciting episode anyway, if you guys want to know the truth. But so I decided just to scrap it overall. But I'm pretty mad about the whole situation. All right. Now you might be thinking, well, just go ahead and get something else, do a whole new thing. And while I can appreciate that, can-do spirit and everything, there's a big problem with that, and that is, as I've mentioned before, I know a lot of you guys probably don't care about the personal life too much, but I'm talking about it. Oh, incidentally, just if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, what I want to do here is build a restroom. Even though it's not part of the game, I don't like the idea of crapping in my house or just outside the door. It doesn't make any sense. So I want to make an actual restroom as much as I can within the game's parameters. But anyway, so I just can't afford it. I moved to the new state and everything, like as I mentioned. I think the last video that you didn't get to see, I don't remember exactly what I've said as far as what's been posted online or whatever, because like I said, so much material's gotten dumped and edited out and everything. It's been a mess. But essentially it's like this. I had a couple job off. So I had a job when I first moved here, but didn't work out. I didn't like it. It was not the place I wanted to sit and hang out, especially if I made all this trouble to come out here and kind of, this is the place I want to retire and live out the rest of my days. Why settle for a less than, ideal job? There's just no point in doing that, right? So anyway, other than just for the nature of money itself. But that's not what buys me all my happiness, is not basically just fiscal. So I gambled a little bit and I started looking for other jobs, and I actually got 2 interviews, and I actually, one of them was I'm not going to really say any of the too much details. Well, what the heck, what I'm doing or whatever, but one of them was a little bit more of a low-key type entry-level job, but actually paid, it was basically a fast food job, I'll just put it that way. But it actually was paying pretty decent, especially for out here, and I would have been able to live fine, actually totally fine out here. And being my age, and leaving the big city, and just my whole attitude about life and everything, I'm not an ambitious person anymore. I've accomplished really everything I've ever wanted to in the big picture, so there's that. So that was an opportunity. And then there was another one that was a little more high-end, hoity-toity kind of a job. And so the fast food job hired me, but I felt uncomfortable because the other one, I had a secondary interview that was actually scheduled almost simultaneously as the other one. But I didn't want to, I had to accept the fast food one because they were going to have me start on Monday. And the date of this recording is Friday. And so I need to get some work started because I only have enough money for like another, as far as savings and everything, I should say, for another until August 1st. But that's, once I run out, then I can't do anything else. Like I would just be on the street because I wouldn't have any backup money. It'd be like every ounce of cash. I did the other interview yesterday, and they also hired me. So I'm not taking the fast food job. The other job, though, this is like a dream come true. Again, you never know until you know. But it's not one of these things I can play around with, at least for a very long time. But this other job, it's like, especially, it's a dream come true, especially in context of the changes I made and where I'm living now, and we're talking like aesthetics and everything, and it's so hard to get into without giving too many details out, but I'm extremely happy, and there's no bragging here because you never know till you know until it happens, and anything can happen, man. You get hit by a bus or something tomorrow, but it looks like, shockingly enough, this is shocking to me, that I actually may be making the most money I've ever made in my life. And that is saying a lot, since I'm living in a much smaller town. And so the ratio and everything is just, it's so different. And I'm extraordinarily happy. I'm super excited. This is like, sometimes you ask for things in life and you pray and everything, and you just don't, it's not about asking God for favors, like He's some divine butler that's supposed to answer your call or something like that. But if you ask humbly and just try to have a good nature about things, you'd be surprised in how much He'll come through in ways that you can't even expect, and so much more than you imagine, and that's wild. But that's what's happened in my situation, and so obviously it's good news on that front. But it is going to make it more difficult to film. I'll just tell you guys straight up. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's my livelihood or doing YouTube videos with 10 views, I mean, obviously I have to focus on that more, and so it's not really a type of job that requires excessive hours, and it's not even particularly difficult job in terms of like stress or anything like that, but it is a little bit, I don't even know what really word to say without sounding like a jackass, but basically it's a lot more prestigious, and it may require, in other words, if they ask me to do something or a customer needs extra help, outside of hours or whatever, I'm going to do it because this is a fantastic situation to be in with that. Now, obviously, if I'm not going to jump at the chance to do that if I don't have to, but I should have, theoretically, I should have equal, the same amount of free time as before, but I don't want to plan on that, and there's no way to know. So just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a heads up that things may be changing immensely, and obviously I'm super excited about it. So yeah, so really good news on that front. Oh, these are all now the positive side of this is that for all my complaining and everything, the one advantage is that, I guess I could say it like this. Moving out here, it was all or nothing type of a situation. And I'm happy that I did it. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't have really any expectations, honestly. I just had the desire to be happy and to get out of the big city and to stop messing around with all that nonsense out there. And I know that these trees respawn, but I have a thing about cutting the trees that are too close, and it's dumb, but that's just how I do things. So that's how I play games, guys. Yeah, so I didn't have really a bunch of expectations or anything, and I haven't really planned much out. So I basically just carried what I could and doing my best, and didn't really plan on thinking of things in terms of, well, if you could do this, would you do this? I didn't live in that fantasy realm. I've just been trying to be very measured in my approach to things. Kind of like how I play this game. Like I said, they're very similar conceptually. This game is pretty cool in the sense that it is reflective of, or can be very reflective of real life. So, let's see, take these. So anyway, the other part to it is that if it so happens that I actually am able to I think I'm going to put a door here. Oh, I got to try to hunt that thing. No, I'm not eating a horse. Was that A donkey and a horse? What the heck just happened? Well, I'm not eating a horse, so let me just keep building. I gotta be mindful of my shoes here. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I think it's just a horse. Anyway, the good news to all this is that if I am able to make this extra cash, then yeah, I will be able to actually buy a better program, an editor, and not really worry about the losses that I've had, and just kind of move forward with getting what I need to do better quality videos. And that, in addition, not something I was really too worried about committing to, but that is the situation with a microphone. Like, I don't have the deepest voice. I'm not acting like I do, but I do sound like I'm like a teenager. But it is enhanced even worse when you put it on this headset that I'm using, which is also actually falling apart now that I think about it. I just haven't been thinking about it too much. So I'd be able to invest in some better equipment. Now, is that the top priority? You know, not like I have the massive YouTube channel, but it's definitely something to consider, because I do feel a little bit, or quite a bit, like, let's see if I can, I'm going to try something real quick here. Can I replace this? No, it's not going to let me. Exit. Yeah, so there's a good side to it too when it comes to being able to actually improve the quality of all this stuff. But again, I have a lot of other really major things I have to consider more than worrying about gaming. But it's no slight to you guys. I love you guys, and I am extremely grateful for the support. I'm just hoping that, you know, I know you guys do understand that these situations. And so, yeah, I'm in a good mood. But it's a lot of stuff going on. Just wanted to let you know. And so with that, I think it should almost go without saying, but I will say it, that I hate to do this because I hate to stop and start all the time. But I don't want to commit to being able to put out too much content right now, because it doesn't look, I would have to basically have a no edit video, which I don't even know how possible that is with all the distractions and stuff I have while I'm playing. The other thing is it's the amount of time it would take, because again, I can use the default, like the Windows 10 or whatever it is, video editor, but it sucks. You know what I mean? It sucks. And so, actually, I'm going to equip. Let me put these in here real quick. I don't want this stuff to get dirty. Put this here. But yeah, I just don't think it's fair to you guys, whatever, either putting out, you know, gross content or something that's just like not good quality. And in fact, if I'm being even more honest here, I'm very disappointed that I haven't been able to make the types of videos the way that I thought, because I really wanted to do something more cinematic, but again, it's very time consuming, and it's just with all the weird updates to Scum that haven't been very consistent and everything, it just hasn't merited me putting that kind of time and effort into it, in addition to all the other things I have going on. And so there's really that. Don't really have much else to say. I guess we'll just kind of keep building a little bit. Yeah, so my idea here is just to try to make like a toilet thing, and then I'm going to try to put my bed over here, I believe. Yeah, do a feather bed. And then I'm going to build a metal chest. And then try to get this thing out of the way here, too. So, it's kind of tough. It's one of those things where, as much as I get excited about the things like building and stuff in these games, I'm like one of the worst craftsmen. I don't know what it is about it. I always pick like, I'm not very creative when it comes to that stuff. I don't know what it is. Somewhat ironic, I guess, because I have a more or less, I guess you could say, a professional, history with construction and things of that nature. But then I do these games and I just make these kind of not very impressive bases, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to... I want to put a roof on this, but I don't think I'm going to put a... I was going to put like stairs or a door or something, but I think I'm just going to hang myself off of this and, do a little squat or something. Yeah, perfect. I mostly just don't want that stink. Now, if it was me, obviously I'd move it out even further, but I also don't want it to go too close to the water supply there and get diseases and stuff. So, which I know is not really a thing in the game, at least for now, but I'm pretty sure they're going to start adding like stuff like that too, because I mean, we have to admit that, isn't it kind of a little strange that we don't have to boil water? That's like one of the most important things about aspects to survival. So, as you want to make sure you take care of your water supply. So, let's put this up here. Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, man. It can be really, really frustrating when you spend your time and your money and invest into these programs or technology or whatever it is for your hobbies, and it just does not work. It's just one of the most frustrating things, and it seems to be the case like when it comes to hobbies or even just projects in general. It's like always like the worst. Like there's always, no matter how hard you plan, there's always something dumb that happens. And I definitely didn't think that I would be sitting here. Oh, whoa! I didn't. Where did these come from? Did I bring them in here? What is going on? I don't know what I'm doing. I wonder if this rope will do me any good. I do have another rope that I bought. Oh, I guess I should mention this. So the last video, I was just hitting some towns on the way. But I picked up like 4 batteries. It was crazy. I don't know how that happened. And a couple little things. So I decided to make a gamble and a trek to the trader that I knew was on the west, but I also didn't know exactly where it was at. So it was a gamble. It paid off. But the batteries I was surprised. They only sold for like $50 or something. Which was like, I couldn't even believe that was, it yielded so low. That it was shocking to me. I was pretty unhappy. However, I did get, ultimately it worked out because I got like about $2,000 or something. So wasn't like I was totally ripped off, but what's going on here? It just wasn't what I thought I would be getting for something like that. See, now what I'd like to do here is then put a torch, so I could, like 2 torches or something, so that I can use the restroom there. Okay. All right. So this is not, I don't really have a plan for the rest of the base too much. I do want to put the bed over here. Maybe we'll keep the fire. I don't know. What would you guys do? Let's see here. But I want to put the bed. I did kind of screw up because I put a few pieces already. But anyway, I didn't think I was going to be upgrading the base this soon. It's just my plans change constantly. I need rags. I need feathers. Wooden logs. I gotta move that fire pit, obviously. But so that's kind of where I'm at with this. I won't be posting, like I said. Don't imagine myself posting very much. I plan on continuing with this character. Sorry, I had to hit the mute button. I was burping over here. But I do plan to continue with the character, so hopefully if they do any other updates, there's not like a reset or anything like that, and we can follow more adventures. And probably you guys might be even a little bored with the fact that of the stage that I'm at in this game, because this is not the most exciting thing. I'm just getting everything started, and I know by now most other players would have had every weapon in the game and bazookas and airplanes and all this other stuff. But you know, so anyway, I guess that's all I really got for today. I'm going to focus a little bit on this boring stuff, and if I can hunt, I'll hunt. Try to keep my guy up, but wish me the luck, guys. I'm really excited to start my new job. And again, hopefully I can find a better video editor and push for that and get some more content. But it's going to be a little while. I just, plus, like I said, I have to just get used to the job in general. And so that's kind of a thing. But I really appreciate you guys for sticking around. I'm not happy that you know, that I kind of had to do this push-pull thing. Definitely not my intention, but such is the nature of life sometimes, right? So until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.